Hi guys, Michael here, and today we'll be talking about the concept of social proof, what it is and how you can apply it to improve your social interactions. Social proof is when people copy the actions and decisions of other people in an attempt to make a good decision for themselves in a given situation. This goes hand in hand with the concept of pre-selection. Pre-selection is you make a choice because you've seen so many other people make a choice. If so many other people have made that choice, then it's probably not a bad decision for you either. A lot of people also know this concept as the wisdom of crowds or a herd mentality, and we use it all the time. For example, if I'm in a new city and I'm looking for a restaurant to eat at, and I see two restaurants next to each other, and one is filled with people and one is completely empty, I'm probably going to choose the restaurant that has people in it, because these locals would know where a good place to eat, and since they have pre-selected it, it's probably also a good choice for me. The more uncertainty that someone has about something, the more likely they are going to be to default to the choices of others. Social proof leads us to determining that something is valuable, a person has status, or something is important, simply because it appears that other people have designated it as so. Now, the word appears is super important. It's often not necessary that these other people actually find value in the product or think a person has status, only that they make it appear to you that they believe so. Think of all the god-awful products that are advertised on TV. They always have a celebrity endorsement or supermodels holding it, but these people are just paid to lend these products social proof. So you put value on the product because you put value on these people. Think of all the sports games where people are holding Gatorade bottles. The bottle on the outside says Gatorade, but on the inside, it's most likely just water. Think of all the rap music videos with the attractive dancers flaunting material possessions, literally throwing money around, and being filmed in exotic locations. This is literally the artist saying, come revel in my success with me, by buying my album or buying a concert ticket. Social proof is the easiest and most influential persuasion principle that you can hack to influence the decisions of others. Just look at social media and subscriber counts. It's not necessarily correlated between the quality of a social media account like a YouTube page and the number of subscribers it has, but people normally trust a page that has more subscribers. And because of this, whole businesses like click farms have started up where people are willing to pay tons of money to get fake subscribers added to their account. And they do this because they know the power of social proof and pre-selection. It's even become almost cliche and comical when you see the internet salesman who has rented a Lamborghini for a day or has rented a mansion on Airbnb when shooting a promotional video. However, thanks to the concept of social proof, it's still probably a pretty good investment on their part. Think about it. They just rent a car for maybe $5,000 for one day, and they drive it to the venue where they're going to meet clients, or they use it to shoot promotional material, and they might net 10 times the amount of money that they spent on the rental, just to increase sales. It's actually even better than a Ponzi scheme. Because a Ponzi scheme, you actually have to give financial returns to people, and in this case, you just have to keep looking for new clients. Now, back in the day, a snake oil salesman would have to, skip to the next town to avoid being caught and to find new clients, but now with the internet, there's an infinite amount of clients. People use social media such as Instagram all the time to build social proof. A picture says 1,000 words, and a picture is also 1,000 times more powerful when it comes to maybe misleading people. People can curate an entire Instagram page that doesn't even moderately represent their actual lives. I used to know this guy, and he would bring extra shirts on airplanes. And that way he could take pictures of selfies of himself like he's flying all the time, when in reality he would just go to the bathroom and switch his shirt and then take a different picture later on. And that way he could post them up on Instagram over the next month and pretend he had a much more interesting travel jet-setter life than he actually did. Now compare these type of salesmen to people like Steve Jobs or Bill Gates. The guys that wear their simple black turtleneck or their sweater vest. People who have a lot of intrinsic value, they don't require on social media or other means of building fake social proof because people already know the value that they can provide. Okay, now let's tie in how you can use these concepts to improve your own social skills or status in an environment. Like I talked about before, when a person is placed in an environment where they have a lot of uncertainty about something or someone, they're more likely to default to the concepts of social proof and pre-selection to make a decision about it. So if you're in a new environment where you don't know people, those people can watch how you interact with other people. They can really gauge your status, how well you're received, your popularity, etc., just by watching how your interactions go with other people around them. And they can make a predetermined notion of who you are before they even interact with you themselves. Pre-selection results in a person presupposing that another person has many other attractive traits. Why else would so many people like them? It's kind of like an evolutionary hack. It allows a person to save a lot of time and energy when analyzing a new person by just defaulting to what the majority of other people think of him. The person thinks, wow, if this person's so popular with so many other people, he's probably worth getting to know myself. I once went out dancing with a very attractive female friend of mine to a bar. And while there, she left for a moment, and during that time I approached another girl and asked her to dance with me. Now this girl hadn't seen me with the other girl, and she declined my offer. However, 5 minutes later, when my very attractive friend returned and I continued dancing with her, she did see us together. This is where the concept of social proof took action. She saw that if I was good enough to dance with this girl that she might even perceive as more attractive than herself, then I was also good enough to dance with her, and she approached me and said she changed her mind. Social proof in pre-selection is not always used manipulatively, such as in the marketing and advertising cases that I gave. A lot of times it's well justified. For example, if a speaker is invited to give a speech, the person's normally introduced by someone that is known in the local environment, and this gives the person credibility. You can use the concepts of social proof and pre-selection in non-manipulative ways to incredibly improve your social interactions. And this is what I teach clients to do. I'll go over a couple techniques that I teach them with you now. In social situations, being surrounded by people who seem happy to be interacting with you is the best way to form a positive predetermined notion of who you are in the mind of a stranger. If that stranger sees that other people are happy to interact with you, then they think, oh, then I'll probably enjoy the company of that person as well. So knowing this, early on in the night, talk to everyone. Man, woman, young, old, no matter what. And just be friendly with everyone. And the conversations don't have to last that long. Just try, and it'll also really help get your social momentum increased. Because the more you talk with people, the easier it'll become as the day goes on. If you talk to everyone early on, even if it's only for a minute or two, if you're to later approach them in the evening, you're no longer a complete stranger. And why this is important is, a lot of times at social gatherings, especially where there's alcohol involved, people are a little stiff in the beginning and they're not interacting so much. But as the night goes on, people start to mingle, and when the night gets to its climax or at the end, people's actually shields can kind of start coming up. For example, let's start thinking of a very attractive girl. Now that it's late in the evening, all the guys are hitting on her and her shields are up and she's kind of deflecting advances left and right. However, if you reapproach at this point, instead of just clumping you in with all the other drunk guys, you're a known entity. You're someone she's familiar with and had a pleasant interaction with earlier on. So she'll be a lot more comfortable with engaging you again because of what is known as a familiarity bias. The second tip that I often give is to smile and make every interaction look like it went positively, no matter how it actually went. For example, if you approach a group of girls and they completely blow you out and reject you, instead of hunching over, looking sad, walking back to your friends all dejected, instead if you turn back around, you have a smile on your face, there's still a bounce in your step, you're still happy about your life in the world, and people see that. This is very powerful for two reasons. One thing, if you stay positive in the interaction no matter what, the people you're actually interacting with, they can actually say, oh, this guy seems very confident in himself despite how I'm acting to him, so he's not really dependent on my validation, and this confidence makes me reevaluate him and maybe give him a second chance within the initial interaction. Secondly, the other people who may be watching you, they don't see someone get rejected. They see a person interacting with other people and leaving the situation still in a positive state. And this contributes to your social proof status instead of detracting from it. And ironically, even if that social situation didn't go particularly well, you walking away from it in a positive state can actually contribute to your social proof in the environment and lead to better interactions later on. And a third tip is to introduce people that you just met to other people that you just met. For example, if you met a guy, Steve, earlier in the evening, and now you're talking to a girl, Laura, and Steve comes walking by, you can be like, hey, Steve, good to see you again. This is Laura. Laura, Steve, meet each other. This can make you seem like a really social person, a networking type of person, and it makes it seem like you have an abundance of friends and that you're not like greedy for attention, but willing to share it. For further conversation tips, check out my video, How to Start a Conversation with Strangers. And for those of you looking to improve your social skills specifically when it comes to attraction and dating, then I recommend you check out my book. And those of you who become Patreon subscribers will get unlimited access to my Enhanced EQ online video course where I cover social skills for all different types of situations. Links to both these things can be found in the description below. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Until next time, ciao.